clerk this evening?
Trustee Cap,
Present.
Trustee Hodges,
Here.
Trustee Garcia, Trustee Greer, Trustee Richardson here, Trustee Claybrook.
Here.
Okay, we have 4 trustees present, we have a quorum, so it's time for the pledge of allegiance, please. Ladies, trustee Claybrook.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you.
Amen.
Are there any approval or corrections of the minutes that was kept at the regular board meeting on March 22nd and March 28th? That was a special meeting. Are there any changes, amendments to be made to those meetings, to the minutes? If there are no changes, then I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes for March 22nd and March 28th, 2022.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for March 22nd, 2022 and March 28th, 2022.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor by trustee Claybrook to approve these 2 minutes of these meetings. Could we have a second, please?
I second the motion.
A second. Trustee Hodges, will the clerk take the roll?
Trustee Cap,
Yes.
Trustee Hodges,
Yes.
Trustee Richardson, yes, Trustee Claybrook.
Yes.
All right, motion passed, thank you. And before we open the meeting to the public, if you have anything to state to the board, you would just stand up and give us your reason for being here, or your comment, or whatever you have to say. And in particular, then we'll call you when the time comes. So at this time, I will ask for a motion to open the meeting to the public.
I'll make the motion, open the meeting to the public.
There's a motion on the floor by trustee Claybrook to open the meeting to the public. We have a
Yeah.
second. I'm sorry, trustee Cap.
I second.
I'm sorry, you tall just like.
Polk got C's.
Okay, Trustee Cap,
Yes.
Trustee Hodges,
Yes.
Trustee Richardson, yes, and Trustee Claybrook.
Yes.
All right, motion passed. So the meeting is now open to the public. So are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Okay, I will ask for a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Trustee Ross, are we gonna have a parking lot anywhere close to the playground? I don't know how true it is, that's why I'm asking you. I know
Parking
you
lot?
know Parking lot or some parking deck where the house all the way on the corner of the playground there, the hockey top. And someone was talking about a parking lot being built there.
I mean, not unless there's an establishment back there that
I'm
would
sorry.
be. I said, not unless there's an establishment back there that would necessitate to have a parking lot.
And
Is
there's
that
no
cottage?
establishment back there, right?
No, not at this time, no.
Is that cottage she's talking about, or what part?
So are you saying that it's possible for, if there was an establishment built back there, that they can park there? It's the blank lot on Croissant Drive.
Well, it would depend on whose property it is, and if the establishment bought the property, and if they brought it up to code, then of course, then I wouldn't see much reason as to why they could not park there, but again, it would have to be, either get consent from the owner, and, I think it's them owning most of the property down there.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions from the public?
No, I do. Lisa Morris, regarding the Hoxie Top Park and the upkeep of the park, for the last few years, it hasn't been upkept. And I'm concerned about that going into the spring.
Well, the Power District is gonna be doing some upgrades this year, and they had planned to do some things last year, and they had a big fire at Sand Ridge, and cost them over $1 million in structural damage, and therefore that kind of put things on hold, so they're gonna try to move some of those funds to the next fiscal year, and so we do expect that.
Let me explain it a little better. The parks belong to the Park District, Calumet Memorial Park District, and they maintain them. It's not the Village of Burnham's park, it's the park
I'm
district.
aware of that, but
Oh, okay.
anytime that I call about that, it still isn't being upkept.
They haven't kept up the ones on the other side of town as well. Things were neglected last year, probably because of
So is that not the village
COVID.
responsibility to follow
Now,
up on that?
well, I will say this, I'm of the park recreation. I will be working hard, cause I just got in, I will be working hard to make sure that's clean. That's one thing I can do. But as far as when it comes down to, I work with where we have to work with the county Memorial Park District when it comes down to budget. As far as, but upkeep, I'll be working hard for that, but we do have to work with the county Memorial Park District. But I will be personally trying to make sure we do more volunteers for cleaning, make sure that's taken care of. But that's where I can, step up with that, and I will take accountability for that.
Okay. And the other thing, as far as going into the spring, I'm just a little bit concerned regarding the traffic that's going along Croissant Drive and the random gunshots that come from one house on the block, on the corner. And whenever I call, nothing happens.
Okay, so that would be.
And this is periodically, as
Yep.
well as the constant loud music that's going into the spring, as far as the one house on the corner with the whole lot that was purchased back there and that is closed off now.
I mean, would that be the house behind the mechanic shop or the house across the street?
I'm sorry?
I said, would that be the house behind the mechanic shop or would it be across the street? I mean, on the west side of the street?
It's
No,
on
no,
the
would
east
it be
side
on-
of the street.
I mean, would it be on the west side of the gravel road or would it be on Hoxie, which is behind the mechanic shop?
It's behind the mechanic shop, the
Okay.
first house on the corner,
Okay,
that I've discussed with you on numerous occasions.
okay. We have had some discussion on that. Okay.
Can I get your
Any
name,
plans
please?
on that or addressing those issues? Lisa Morris.
Thank you.
Well, every complaint is always, put under observation, so, but what I will say, if there's constant, like loud music, there's something that a call need to be made during that time.
That's done as well.
Because, even if the police officer drive by and they hear the loud music, it really doesn't give them a whole lot of teeth for that complaint unless the residents have called in.
I call
Okay.
constantly.
Okay, I will give you my number at home in my basement, the number that I give out to the public.
Well, the problem that I'm having is, it goes on for 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, as soon as it gets warm. It happens throughout the weekend from the 3 residents that own the riverfront property there. And it goes from
Now,
Friday.
that's not the same house there now.
No, that's a different issue.
Right, okay.
As far as the gunshots in the house. The other issue was the owners of the lot along the riverfront with their partying from Friday through Sunday, once it turns warm outside. That's where the loud music comes from.
Okay, so that's on the west side of the gravel road then?
Yes.
Okay. But I do know they had one party over there, and to my understanding, that it was kind of loud and boisterous, and it was brought to the attention of the owner, and he said some of his friends had come out of town or something. So to my understanding that I have not heard of another complaint since that.
No, I'm just bringing up that issues because it's about to get warm.
Okay.
And that's when it usually happens.
I mean, so in other words, but there haven't been any more parties over there with the loud music and stuff?
Well, not lately, but I'm sure
Okay.
it's coming.
Okay.
And the other problem was that with the music, and when the police officers do come, they will cut it down, but then as soon as they drive off, it's right back up again.
Well, normally we instruct the police officers that when they get a complaint like that, always go back because they're definitely gonna turn it back up. So, go back around because they're not gonna listen. They're gonna turn it down while they're there. As soon as they're leaving a half a block, they'll probably turn it back up. So, then we do encourage the police to go back. And maybe sometime they may get another call, so they may not get a chance to go back, depending on what's going on. But we do urge that.
Okay, but just as to confirm, there is a noise ordinance for the village of Burnham, correct?
Yes.
And there is a time slot, correct?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a time slot for the noise ordinance. The noise ordinance would be after, it would be in effect at all time. Would that be correct, Officer Cruz?
Yeah, well, it actually kicks in about 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then it ends in the morning about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, because the noise ordinance that would be impeding construction and other work. So that's where that's at. We do the best we can with these people, but it's not like we can go in there and take their stereo equipment and audio equipment out of there, so.
Do you
We
ticket
stop
them?
But it's only for the moment.
Do you ticket them when you stop by?
If we can find who's authorizing the noiser. So usually we're looking like for the homeowner. Nobody wants to give up the homeowner, we just can't arbitrarily write a ticket.
Well, there's another problem there. There's another problem there, I mean, like that, and I know who the homeowner is, and, you know, so we can go from there. So, I mean, if this continuously and repetitiously, you know, as Ms. Moore says, that it'll, you know, so. Yes, sir.
I've gone to that, when you're talking about 139th and Hot.
Correct.
I've gone there, they put the music down, and quite a few times I've gone back, and they still kept it down, so, I mean, we're doing what we can to keep the music down. Like, now after certain 15, 20 minutes later, after we done did our checks there, they might put it back up. Like I said, they don't wanna give up who the owner of the house is, so we cannot.
Well, we know who owns the
issue a
property.
citation.
I mean, the village knows who's on the property, so why can't a ticket just be issued to the property owner?
But people that live there don't own the property. They're not per se.
Okay, well, whoever owns the property is their responsibility. Whichever tenants occupy the property.
Okay, and your point is well taken. Well, thank you. Any other public comments?
Yes. My name is Marilyn McLean. I live at 14326 Bensley. I want to know what, about how other townships get grants and Burnham is not getting any type of grants.
I mean, grants in regards to what?
As far as getting roofing and windows for the seniors. I was just at a fair in Dalton. Tiffany, she's giving her seniors grants, and she told me that the mayor has to go and get this money. So I want to know why you aren't trying to get money for our township.
I mean, is this COVID money that they're giving out, or you know where the money's coming from?
No, it's not no COVID money. She's,
Is it TIF money? I believe Dalton has TIF money to give out.
what are you
Burnham
saying?
doesn't have TIF.
Tip money.
I said TIF, I mean, tax
TIF.
increment financing, yeah.
Well, I don't
Burnham
think it's
doesn't
that.
have any TIF.
I don't think that. And not only that, I noticed that Dalton and all Calumet and everybody else, they all do things for their township. You all aren't doing anything for our township.
I mean, what is it that you would like for us to do?
For one thing, go try to get some grant money for us to get work done around our house. If next week, if I have to bring the piece of paper to let you know what type of grants that she's giving her township.
And I said, but I said also that Dalton have TIFs, and a lot of that money is coming from the TIF fund. And
When you
Burnham
say
doesn't have-
tip, what is tip?
TIF is tax increment financing,
Mhm.
and Burnham does not have any TIF.
And why is that?
Because we probably can't afford it, we don't have that many businesses here. And once you set up a TIF, the money have to come from the schools, it has to be drawn down from other entities, and that takes away from some of the things that you're responsible to fund. So, I mean, if there's something that's available, I mean, out there, then we do try to share with our residents. I mean, like we did when we got the, COVID money, so we gave everybody a credit on their water bill. I mean, everybody that had an account, did you see that? Did you not
Yes.
see it?
Yeah, we saw a little bit.
We have done those CDBG.
And no one gave it back. No one gave it back.
We've done those CDBG grants to help people with the houses over the years when that money was available.
What grants?
It was called CDBG. It was county money that was given that we were able to use for seniors to fix up their places. But that
I didn't get anything.
That was years ago. You would have had to apply, but we had money like that years ago.
And I don't, there's only one person in Burnham that I know that has asked us about a roof, so I'm trying to find some help for him. No one else has said anything about it in Burnham.
You're trying to help one person
I mean,
with
the
what?
person- I mean, the person mentioned that.
With what?
About a roof.
Uh-huh.
But that's the only person that ever said anything to me about a roof.
Well, I'm coming to you asking you for grant money, not just for roofing. I need my driveway done.
I don't know if you could get a grant for that.
I have something.
Yes.
You could go to HUD,
Mm-hmm,
Housing Resources for Seniors,
mm-hmm.
and it has home ownership assistance, foreclosure, home repairs, utility bills, predatory lending, and also legal assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a number you can call if you wanted to call. It's the Illinois Department on Aging. And the number is 1-800-252-8966, or
Can you write that information down for
I'll
me?
give it to you after the meeting.
Okay. And you are?
Trustee Claybrooks Travis.
Okay.
I believe CETA offers those services as well. CETA, they offer those services.
As far as your driveway?
Well, not as far as your driveway, but just repairs with your house and windows and roofing and things of that nature.
I'm familiar with Cedar, but I'm talking about my driveway.
You
And
mentioned
I'm
bills, that's
speaking-
why I said.
Yeah, and I'm speaking of how other townships, they all can get things done, and then also have things like luncheons and different things performed in their township, and we ain't doing nothing for our
I mean,
township.
the town was not having lunches from the town. The township, so Thornton Township covers 17 different towns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the individual towns are not having lunches for the people, I mean, sponsored by the township. And if you're part of the township, then you go and participate in those luncheons.
Now,
I mean, the individual towns are not having lunches.
Yeah, you're confusing.
so what you're saying, I have been to several, Dalton senior luncheons and stuff, and it's not from the township of Thornton Township. It's actually Dalton, their area doing the luncheon.
Well, Burnham has a lot of different things that we invite people all the time to the event.
What things have they been doing besides the little picnic that, well, Frank, he's not here anymore, the picnic that they do out here?
No, we've had a lot of our own things too.
I don't.
Oh, sure we do. Yeah.
We have our own picnic every year besides the township.
Yeah, sure.
Your own picnic?
Back to school, back to community day.
Well, back to school, but it's, I'm speaking far as the seniors. Things in the, area for the seniors where you do things for us. That's what I'm talking
And we
about.
also give the seniors a free sticker for their vehicles. They don't have to purchase those. We also give the seniors a discount on their garbage bill. Now, Burnham is a small municipality, so we cannot do what Chicago do. We cannot do what Lansing do, because we don't have the resources to do that. I mean, but I think we do a pretty good job representing, looking out for our people. I do. And I've been here for 17 years, and we really haven't had anybody come to the meeting and say, well, you know, I mean, Burnham isn't doing anything for us in 17 years. In 17 years.
Well, I've been here 25 and I haven't heard it either.
All right, thank you very much. All right, are there any other public comments? I'll ask for a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Make a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Motion to close by trustee Claybrook, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by trustee Cap. The clerk call the roll.
Trustee Cap?
Yes.
Trustee Hodges?
Yes.
Trustee Richardson? Yes. Trustee Claybrook?
Yes.
Thank you, motion passed, meeting is now closed to the public. So the mayor's report, our code enforcement car is down. I think the transmission is bad, so it'll probably cost about $4,000 to get it repaired, so I don't know whether we
No,
should.
it's not worth it.
Because old cars, so we probably have to buy another used one, so we'll probably look around in the next month or two.
I'm sorry, what was that about $4,000 in a transmission?
The code enforcement vehicle has a bad transmission,
Okay.
but it's an old hand-me-down police car.
Okay, the other thing is I received notice last week that the Cook County Board of Election, Cook County Board, had voted based on every 10 years the census changes the boundaries, and the county board reduced the number of voting precincts in Cook County. And the village of Burnham, had 4 precincts, and they reduced it down to 3. But where they made the mistake at is that they combined precinct 85 is on the west side of Torrance, by the mall area, and part over here by Marquette and Saginaw, as well as Miss Morris, your precinct, and Miss Ross and Jack are your precinct. So they combined 85 and 95. They combined 85 and 99 together, and both of those precincts have over 800 voters in them. And there is not enough room here at the Village Hall, to combine and bring in 85 and 99 here. It's not enough room. So unfortunately, since they made that decision, they never really consulted with us, because I would have advised them they still could have combined the precinct. All they had to do was combine one over here, the townhouses, and the precinct where we live, Mr. Johnson and myself and Trustee Richardson. And those 2 precincts, they already vote here, and there would have been no change at all, but they didn't do that. You too, Maryland. But they didn't do that. So now we're gonna have to the people that live, the people that been voting him, Maryland, you, me, Trustee Richardson, Mr. Johnson gonna have to vote at the community center for the next 10 years, and it's starting June 28th because of that. So I just want you to know that the county board made the decision and didn't have anything to do with the village of Burnham. And the other thing is, we're gonna have to give it more thought and consideration. We're gonna have a little contest as to who is gonna buy a sticker this year, and we'll probably give out about $40, $50 gas cards, and we'll have more discussion on that in the future. That's all I have to say. This time, the clerk is not here this evening, so we can go to and Trustee Griff. I guess anything we have for public safety. The police got anything for public safety report? So we are having a
vaccination clinic on April 30th at the community center, 10 to 3. So that's the last Saturday in the month. And also there's a job fair this Thursday at the community center. And I want to say that's from 1
I believe it's 9 to 1.
9 to 1. So
What is that date? 21st, is that right?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Is that the Thursday, the 21st?
No,
14.
the 14th, this coming Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
this coming
I'm
Thursday.
sorry.
It's that company that works with Ford making parts, so.
Okay, so that's it for that committee. Public Works and Building, Trustee Clay Brooks.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I only have a few, actually just one thing. We'll be resuming sidewalk repair this spring, probably starting on the west side of Torrance, and then working our way back. And just keep up the spring cleaning, and make sure your property is decent and in order. Any paper or trash that's in your yard, not in the parkway or and behind the alley, make sure you keep your grass cut in the back of the alley, and keep it nice and decent. And that's all I have.
And to add to that, Trustee Clay, but we asked the people who have animals. We have a lot of people that's walking around the street. A lot of people been complaining to us about they finding dogs unproperness on the sidewalk. That is very uncouth. And we would ask that the people would not do that. We live in a civilized society, so let's treat it as such. And let's clean up behind the animals, please. Just since the animals can't do that themselves. Okay. Let me order the resolution and plan to take that, Trustee.
Discussion of consideration of and taking action to approve or not approve the new business application and proposal submitted by Tyrone G. Meeks of Exclusive Apparel. The business will be selling retail clothing and accessories. The location would be 2314 State Street, Burnham, Illinois 60633.
So Mr. Tyrone is here, so would you stand up and explain us your plan and what you offer to the village of Burnham, what you're gonna be selling?
Yeah, I'm Tyrone. Hi, how's it going? This is not my first rodeo. I had a business 15 years ago. I met Mayor Polk, I think in 2004. I had opened up a clothing store and a tailor shop right there at 2452 State Street. And my daughter had a hair salon right next door to me. So one day Mayor Polk came in my business and I made him a suit. Well, I don't actually sew, but my tailor made him a suit. And this was almost 16 years ago. But I had that business for like 7 years until one day Brian Wilson, which was the alderman at the time, came to me one day and asked me if I would consider moving down to the mall, Burnham Mall on right off of Yates, because his business was too small for his clientele. So, and I said, look, I said, Brian, I said, if I can move, a block down the street, just to help you out. I said, I mean, I've been here 7 years, so that's what I did. I moved down the street. I opened up a vacancy there, and Brian and they tore the wall out. They built a dance floor and a DJ booth. And so that's just the type of person I am, I'm planning on bringing, not another tailor shop, but, latest, well, I'm old school, not old fashioned. I got grandkids, I got great grandkids, and then, they look at me, I wear, Nike suits and Adidas suits, all the latest brand, Nike gym shoes. I wear them. I'm 67 years old, so a lot of people don't believe that when they see me sometime. But that's what I plan on bringing to Burnham. A clothing store, different accessories, cologne, the basic, general needs that that a community, neighborhood would like. So that's just about it.
Does the board have any questions?
What would be your hours of operation?
It's like 10 o'clock to 7.
Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday?
Yeah, just like maybe Monday through Saturday, from 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. to like 7 in the evening.
Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, you'll be selling clothes for families,
Adults,
fathers, kids.
adults and children, everybody like a nice, comfortable jogging suit like what you see I have on. I got this in 5 colors, so I can change it up, but I do sell jogging suits, things of that nature, caps, cologne, nice cologne, for, adults and children.
So it'll be a nice family store.
Yes.
The board have another question? Okay.
I read the proposal and it seemed fine to me, plus he's been a previous, tenant or business owner in the village. Okay.
Trustee Kevin, please make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the new business application and proposal submitted by Tyrone G. Meeks.
Sorry.
What was the location?
Right off of Cal.
23, wait a second, I'll get there, it's part of the proposal. The business would be selling retail clothing and accessories. The location would be 2314 State Street, Burnham, Illinois 60633. So I make a motion to approve the business license.
We have a motion approved by trustee Cap to approve this business, business license, excuse me, so could we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by trustee Hodges, will the clerk take the roll?
Trustee Cap?
Yes.
Trustee Hodges?
Yes.
Trustee Richardson? Yes. And trustee Claybrook?
Yes.
The motion passed, thank you, thank you.
I'm speaking for the entire board, and we wish you would have stayed where you were.
Yeah.
Because we had nothing but trouble after you moved.
I heard that. I second the motion on that.
You won't have to worry about that anymore.
Yes, sir. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Just had a question, Mayor. The document, for my license, you gonna mail that to me, or can I come in and pick it up?
I mean, call in tomorrow and talk to the clerk and she'll let you know what to do.
And then it's, as far as the inspection, so I wanna get that out the way.
But let's talk to the office tomorrow, they'll let you know what you need to do.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
congratulations.
Okay.
On finance, trustee Cap?
I have nothing for finance, but I do have one comment. There was an Easter egg hunt on Saturday, which Jeff will talk about, but after the Easter egg hunt, I had a few volunteers that went with me to Burnham Avenue by the bridge from 143rd all the way up the bridge and then all the way down the bridge to clean up glass and bottles and, a big bag of garbage. So I'd like to thank my two volunteers, which happen to be my wife and my cousin's husband, Leo. You guys all know Leo. So it was easy for Lonnie to ask Leo to come and help, and we were out there for quite a few hours. And we did run out of garbage bags, but I'm sure they'll be willing to do it again, so.
And also, trustee Cap, you may want to mention that we started community garden, you and your wife started community garden again this year.
So we've been working on the garden the last few weeks, and we rototilled it, added more soil, and we planted several rows of crops already, things that could be put in the ground early, like root vegetables, beets and like radishes and stuff. And it is available for all the residents, and we appreciate all the extra volunteers we could get. So it's moving along. It looks really good. It looks better this year than it did last year.
Thank you again.
No, you're welcome.
Are the residents aware of that?
There is a big sign, and we have posted it in announcements in the past. And we've made the vegetables available at picnics and functions. It's a hard thing for us to get rid of all the vegetables, tomatoes and cucumbers and
We
things.
send out a newsletter every month for people to put in, so people can respond to things in there. Do you see the letter that we sent
Yes,
out?
I do.
Okay. And we try to put in as much as possible to keep the community informed about different things.
So that's all I have for finance. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Cap. Public utility, trustee Richardson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ma'am.
At our vaccination clinics, we also have feeder that comes out and helps residents with electric, gas, and water bills. So anyone needing assistance with their utility bills that I mentioned, you can come to the vaccination clinic and get help with those at that time. So they will be there on April 30th.
Thank you, trustee Richardson. Report. Park and Recreation, trustee Hodges.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
So Saturday we had an egg hunt, Burnham Park. The kids loved it. I really want to thank everybody for their support, the mayor, all the trustees, everybody who came by, who brought their kids. Everybody, we had extra candy. We had to clean all the eggs up. Well, all the eggs was taken. All the kids had lots of fun. We were able to meet a lot more Burnham residents. I want to thank everybody for their support with that. Also, I'm working with the mayor of examining some local mentoring programs, so we have so our kids can have a chance to be safe and have some things to do. And I got one mentor program right now. We're working with, partnering with Concerned Christian Men. They have a really excellent program. I talked to their leader.
Can you talk to him?
Yeah, definitely talking. We had a really great conversation, great meeting. He's a really good man. And I like what they're doing over there. It's Concerned Christian Men. They will be having sessions, a session on Saturday, April 23rd at Bouchelle Elementary, which is on 73rd and Jeffrey. So that's in Chicago. They'll have a session, but the thing is, we're trying to work it. We maybe bring them out this way too. But the thing is, we are able to get 15 to 20 boys to sign up for that session. They said they'll actually bring transportation, bring the boys out to that session. At that session, they'll have a guest speaker, Rashad Johnson, who the boys will ask questions. They hang out with him. He's actually the president of Advocate Trinity Suburban Hospitals. He's the president of those hospitals, and he'll teach them how to get into that business. And it's basically it's a mentoring program. They have different sessions. This session right now, April 23rd, we're working. They got another session coming up. I'll keep you guys up to date on that session. And also, they'll also be giving kids money for every A on their report card. So you bring your report card to the session, you actually get some cash per A. You have a question?
What's the age requirement for this mentoring program?
It is from grammar school all the way to high school. So first to senior year of high school. So that's one thing. I'm working hard with the mayor to find some cool mentor programs where kids can have some things to do throughout the summer. We're working on some open gyms, some tournaments, and that's one thing we're trying to work on. Also, yeah, that's it for right now. Also, I want to thank Paul, now Koski from Calumet Memorial Park District. He was a big help for us Saturday. Helped us with bring out the eggs, and he's been a big help with us. Some of our open gyms coming up. We're gonna have a really great summer. This summer, we're gonna keep things. We're gonna try our best to keep the parks clean as much as we can. But we are partnering with the Calumet Memorial Park District. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot I can try to do, but I'm working with them, which they have, as he alluded to, we have 10 other towns they work with. I'm gonna try my best to make sure things are nice and upkept for our community and our kids are safe. So thank you.
Jeff did mention there was just a little bit over 40 kids.
Oh, yeah.
And they picked up hundreds of eggs within 6 minutes.
Yes.
So 6 minutes from the time they started, which we thought we were gonna be picking up eggs, we picked up a few that were stepped on and things, or that were broke open or something, but within 6 minutes, those 40-some kids picked up like hundreds of eggs.
Yes.
Thank you, Trustee Hardy, for that report. And also, for that day, I think they want to pick them up at 8:30, and I would like for them to be at the community center about 7 o'clock. We'll have some type of continental breakfast for them before they leave.
Yeah. So we're able to get, the thing is we got to get 15 to 20 kids signed up. So we have, if any kids would like to sign up, they can call 773. They can call 773. Just call 773-437-9058 and let them know that you're part of the Burnham list, and then we're going to try to tally. Now, I will be passing out flyers in the next week or two, much as I can. I'm trying to get to every residence like I did with the egg hunt, door to door. I'm trying to get many flyers out so you can register. If your child wants to be part of the rental program, we get 15, 20 kids. They will come and pick them up, and then we have continental breakfast for them. But then we got to get 15 to 20 kids. So
it should be boys or girls?
Boys and girls.
Can you put that number one more time?
773-437-9058. Right now. As he alluded to, boys and girls, I'm going to call them and make sure. You understand? But like, I like what they stand for, and that's one thing I'm trying to do. Make sure we partner with reputable mentoring programs so our kids can have some connections to different people, even outside of Burnham. Even if you're interested in mentoring, let me know, because I also.
On Bensley, it's still on Circle on Saturday. All right, thank you. Was there any unfinished business? Is there any new business? From here none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion on the floor by Trustee Cap to adjourn. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Trustee Hardy. Clerk take the roll.
Trustee Cap?
Yes.
Trustee Hodges?
Yes.
Trustee Richardson? Yes. And Trustee Claybrook?
Yes.
Motion passed, meeting adjourned. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.